And so that's a big mistake that I think we see, is that we have an online brand, but the mentality of like, I want to do everything for this family, but I can't do that for this price. And then it turns into this whole negotiation, right? It's less about the negotiation. It's less about building a unique package for each family at this point.
As being maybe more clear about what you are and are not offering, right?
Yeah.
So at your side brand, you may only be doing direct cremations and minimal viewings and nothing else. And that's what you do. And if a customer needs more than that, then you can refer them to your traditional brand. But at your side brand, that's what you do. Those are your kind of boundaries that you're working within.
I think one of the most important factors that kind of negate a lot of these, maybe not the demographic stuff, but all these other things, is I think the thought is that you, as a funeral home owner or a funeral director working at one of these brands or thinking of starting one of the brands, like you basically you need to really want to serve a family for the price that you're offering.
Mm-hmm.
And if you had 1,000 of those families come in through your door, you should be happy that those 1,000 came in, right? But I don't know if that's the mentality that we see, especially when brands are playing defense.
Yeah, I agree. So when a brand is playing defense and they have this idea that we need to get into the online world just because, like, it's there, right? And we don't want to lose these customers that are going to online. I think the mistake there is, if you're looking at it as a loss, then you're always going to be trying to kind of get that customer to do more. And the customer feels that. I think you have to be able to accept that, look, I'm going to offer my package at this. I want to serve as many families as I can, and I am okay with this price point if that's all that they do, right? And that you need to be comfortable with that, instead of having this idea that everybody needs additional services.
Yeah.
Some will naturally do it without your help at all. If you give them the options in a format, they will choose options that will surprise you. But if it's constantly like, we need this family to do more, we're going to call them after the arrangement is made, we're going to see how we can upgrade their services. It's just, I think, the wrong mentality. And I think customers feel that, and that it's just not a good feeling.
I think people really know when they're wanted and when they're not. I think it becomes pretty obvious. I think also when you called, like, for example, at Crown, if a family walked in and wanted the most basic package, did they feel like they were being cheap, or did they feel like they were getting this lesser experience because they wanted the package that you guys were offering?
Yeah, not at all.
Right? No, they would be able to call, they would be able to talk to someone. They'd always be, all their questions would get answered. They'd be kept up to date with all of their stuff, right? Throughout the experience. But when that doesn't happen, you know what? I almost think that if you are thinking about starting a cremation brand and you haven't already, I would call like the most successful cremation brand as a mystery shop almost, and see what that experience is like on the phone, right? I guarantee you it's not going to feel cheap. Yeah. And then think about the experience that you're going to provide for your families that are going to be doing this online arrangement, and see if you can get that same type of feeling. Because we talk to and call a lot of funeral homes and a lot of cremation brands, and we know the differences in experiences that we get and the phone etiquette that we get.
Yeah.
The websites that we see. And there's a big difference between the ones that start a side brand to not lose customers and the ones that start side brands or start brands that want those customers, right? There's a big difference there.
There's a big difference. And I think for customers that aren't seeing the results that they're wanting, or they have this frustration, like, I would just say, like, have somebody you trust, your family, a friend, whatever, call your own funeral home as if they were a consumer that needed your services, and get their honest feedback and see how things feel. Because I guarantee they're probably different than your perception is. And that's kind of like what you were saying, like the people working there, you should also do that to other funeral homes, but you need honest feedback about your own funeral home too.
Yeah. I think that's one of the biggest things that we've had to learn and adjust to, right? As Parting Pro, when we helping launch these brands, is that if your mentality is like, I'm only doing this because I don't want my competitor to get this customer, I don't necessarily want this customer, I don't want them to lose them, right? That's a different mentality than someone who's like, I am aggressively out there advertise my brand at this price. I want every customer I can get for this price. Like if you called you with your mentality of I don't want you to go to that person, and you call the other person and says I want nothing more than you to
Yeah.
come to my funeral home or come to my
Yeah.
brand, like there's going to be a huge difference.
Yeah. It comes through in the way that you talk to a family. It comes through in the service level that they get and the passion that they feel from you, all of that. It just comes through no matter